Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is wonderful to be back in Melbourne. It's wonderful to be at AAMI Park here today. This is an important city for football. This stadium is an important stadium for Australian football. It's home to Melbourne City, home to Melbourne Victory, and today it's home to your very own CommBank Matildas as they take on number 2 Sweden in a great match that we'll all remember. And we will, of course, be back here at AAMI Park in July next year when we take on Canada in our third group match, which will be a decisive match, not only for our group, but for the entire tournament of the Women's World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2020, we found ourselves in some challenging times as a game and also as a business. At the time, we had partners that were leaving the sport, Hyundai, Foxtel, Aldi, to name a few. And at the time, we needed a clear vision, we needed a new business model, we needed to find new revenue streams, we needed a rebirth of Football Australia and football in Australia. So we went through one of the most fundamental and significant governance reforms in our code's history. We unbundled the A-League. The unbundling included the commercial rights that were associated with the A-Leagues, and that represented about 50% of FA's revenues at the time. So naturally, in 2020, there were many questions that were asked about FA's financial stability going forward. In the past 18 months, we've seen many top local and global brands that have come on board with Football Australia. We've seen Network 10, we've seen Paramount Plus, Priceline, CommBank, Disney, Cupra, Subway, Cadbury. And this week we were proud to announce our newest partner, Lego, to the Australian football family. It's a fantastic group of partners, and together with our long-standing partners, Nike, Qantas, and Seven Consulting, we want to say we're very proud. And ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming our partners today. The investment in our game from our partners, together with the unprecedented government funding and the unprecedented matchday revenues that we're able to generate as a result of our national team content, means that in FY 2023, we have effectively rebuilt our revenues post-unbundling. It also means that we're comfortable to stand here and tell you that we are in the strongest financial position that Football Australia has ever been in. 2 years ago, we published a vision, and the DNA of the 11 principles, as we call it, was really twofold. The first was creating a new A-League model that gave the clubs commercial and operational independence, which allowed Football Australia to become the regulator and governor of that competition. On the side, I do want to say the league is doing a fantastic job. It's been a great start of the season, and we do expect with the new model that this league will continue to grow year on, year out. The second piece of the DNA of that vision was for FA to focus on 2 iconic brands in the market, the Matildas and the Socceroos, and ensuring that those national team brands were better connected than ever to our diverse and multicultural community. That was the DNA of the 11 principles and the vision that we put out in 2020. To get there, we knew that we needed to build the Matildas brand commercially. We knew that we needed to rebuild the Socceroos brand commercially. We now independently measure our national team brands every quarter. And in the most recent report, and I'm happy to share this with you, we do, for the first time in our code's history, have 2 national teams that are in the top 5 strongest national team brands in the country. The CommBank Matildas are the fastest growing national team brand in the country. And at the beginning, you like this one? At the beginning of 2023, the CommBank Matildas will overtake the Wallabies in terms of brand strength. And I believe by the end of 2023, the CommBank Matildas will also overtake the Kangaroos. On the community side, we changed the strategy 18 months ago. We changed the delivery model and we made sure that we integrated our national team brands into a schools program. As a result of these changes, participation in schools have grown by 35% in the past 2 years. And our participation numbers in schools, children playing football in schools, will rise to over 200,000 in 2023. Today, Australian football has two iconic brands in the market, the Socceroos and the Matildas, and we're better connected to our base, our multicultural and diverse community than we've ever been. This is no longer just a vision, ladies and gentlemen. It's a vision that we're all living. The Matildas will only get stronger in 2023. Initiatives like this window, when we're playing the world number 2 in Sweden at a great stadium at 1:45 p.m, kickoff, a great family time. Initiatives like a Nations Cup that we'll announce in February 2023. Initiatives like a Disney docuseries that will be released in the first half of 2023. And initiatives like a farewell match and an associated major event that will send the Matildas off on their farewell right before the Women's World Cup are all the things that we've got ahead of us in the coming months. And these are designed to, on one hand, improve the performance of the team, but on the other hand, to build the brand, build the buzz around this fantastic team. The morning after we won the bid, back in 2020, we said publicly that the Women's World Cup needed to be more than a tremendous month of football. It needed to be a way in which the dial moved for the sport. That's why last year we published a strategy. It's a strategy that we call Legacy 23. And it's designed to ensure that football is transformed through the hosting of the Women's World Cup. Since the articulation of this strategy, we've seen a cumulative number from federal and state government of $280 million that's been invested into Australian football as a result of hosting the Women's World Cup. And this week, we saw our first commercial partner, our first official sponsor of Legacy 23 in Lego join our family. And we will see more corporate dollars, we will see more government funding, and FIFA will come on board in the coming months to sponsor and partner and support Legacy 23. This investment sets Football Australia up to deliver programs in 2023 for Legacy. And concretely, what this means and what we will see is a sharp increase in participation, particularly for women and girls. We will see more community and high-performance facilities across the country. In Melbourne, we'll have the home of Matildas that will be built out at La Trobe in 2023. We will see more female leaders across the sport at the executive and governance levels as a result of our leadership programs that we can invest in. We will see more improved stadia across the country in all host cities, and that will mean that football fans for years to come will have better experiences when they watch elite football. We have unprecedented government funding in Legacy 23, and with corporate Australia coming on board, we're set up to deliver, and we're set up to deliver well. Legacy 23 is no longer just a strategy that's sitting on a shelf. It's a strategy that we're breathing life into as we speak. In closing, I just want to paint the picture of what's ahead of us, of you, in the coming months. Our Socceroos are just over a week away from kicking off their first match at the World Cup in Qatar against current world champions France. We wish Graham and the team all the very best. They will do us proud, just like they did a couple of weeks ago when they took a stand on the human rights in Qatar, and we stand by our players. We have two Socceroos windows that we own in 2023, in March and in June. We will bring the team back here, they'll be playing before you, and we will bring big oppositions as opponents. After this Matildas window, which finishes on Tuesday in Gosford against Thailand, we will have 3 remaining women's windows before the Women's World Cup kicks off. 2 of those 3 windows will be in Australia, and we're very excited about the teams that we'll be announcing soon who'll be coming out to Australia. It is such an exciting period for Australian football, ladies and gentlemen. We've made great strides over the past few years, and we now need to seize the opportunity ahead of us and take the sport to another level through Legacy 23. But for now and for today, I want you to have a good time. It's going to be an exciting match. Enjoy it, get behind this wonderful team, and go Matildas.